What you call me here for?
I just want you to tell me why. You know, what's wrong? What did I do wrong? Just tell me why.
Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we grow up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying and delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Here is a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Freddie, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome to the morning show. How are you?
I'm a little tired, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I ain't feeling too well.
I'm feeling so good.
You know, you should talk to
I gotta talk to
Josh Incorporated because he has info about that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I gotta talk to.
Very ill. Very bad reaction.
I know.
Keep telling you, stop taking Crapola. Welcome to the morning show. Today is it's a very interesting day.
Why?
Because yesterday we did an interesting show, The Meta, and then replayed that night on the radio. Everything worked out very well. But I noticed that for her first show, she had a lot.
She had a lot of things going on.
But she had one particular lady that I got to tell you was very unique.
Which one?
The one that made the plants sing.
Oh, how'd you like that?
I was amazed. And then I said, can I see the apparatus?
Nadini.
How do I know it's not just an apparatus that go wee, 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 wee?
All the way home.
But did you see the plant
How
singing?
cool was that? And they told me the plant picks up the vibration of the energy of the studio. So because we always play music for our studio, our plants are at a certain vibration of music. So they weren't sure how she was going to sing, I call her a she, or what was going to happen. And the more she touched it, more Karina touched the leaves, the more the plant sang. She said, because I was telling the plant it was okay to sing.
It was unbelievable.
Did you see it? No, you were doing Jeff.
Yeah, I didn't.
So they put this microphone and this little clip onto the plant leaf, and it starts to sing.
And I want to see if she'll come and we can do that. Now, remember a time where we had this silver card, and we used to go like this, and he used to change the frequency of everything on it. So he went to the plant store, and he picked up 4 plants. 4.
I remember that.
And they all came from the same batch of plants. So it wasn't like one plant was more healthy than the other. They all looked the same. And we put 4 in 4 different corners. And 2 of them, he did the thingamajig, and 2 he did not. And lo and behold, the 2 that he did the thingamajig, like lady yesterday, the frequencies, those plants bloomed and the other ones died. And we were like, you gotta be kidding me.
And they lived so much longer, remember that?
Like 3 weeks. And we're like, can he do it again? So I took it home and I did it, and it lasted 3 weeks. So there's got to be something to that science that she was talking about.
It was very cool, though, to hear the plant sing.
Did you find that bizarre?
She did a lot of great things in her show. For the first show, she was all over the place.
She had a lot of elements. She was like wasted. She was like,
it's a lot to put in a 1 hour show. You don't realize until you realize. And she kept going. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, an intro, a song, another song, a lot of moving parts. But a really nice show.
Good show. So
Meta Lifestyle show. So that's a new show that started.
Taping at 3 o'clock. And we're going to have, and we had, the day before, we had the Sally Bernard
Lights in the
Meets
Night
the
was
Alien
a new show.
That was bizarre.
Tomorrow night we have Meet the Experts, which is a new show.
It's a new show tomorrow, yeah.
And then next Monday we have a new show starting on All-in-One Medicare Benefit Show. That starts Monday night also. We got a lot of things.
Now, the Monday night show of All-in-One, look out for that because I want to put out promos.
Okay.
Because the window is open to sign up.
For Medicare, correct.
And what all they're asking you to do is to just look and see either you have a choice or if you're already enrolled to see if you have a better choice. They're not going to pressure you into buying anything. We had a big meeting about that yesterday, and all they want to give you is the information. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't.
I gotta tell you, our world makes things very complicated. You're raising your hand, yes? You have a question about Medicare?
No, but I just thought we should remind everyone that it's Hump Day
Oh, please do.
tonight. Okay.
Is why? Oh, you just like saying that.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me.
Mike.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
That's all.
To be Katie.
That's
Do you
all.
remember when I used to play that up at iHeart
It
every
made me
Wednesday?
crazy and played it every Wednesday.
I played a video, and I wanted to bring in a camera. I couldn't find one. It made
You
her
want to bring in a
nuts.
Do you
camel?
feel old? Do you feel like the days go by so fast, the weeks go by even faster?
I remember
Next
that
thing
like
you know,
yesterday.
we're at Super Bowl this weekend. You got Tuesday is Valentine's Day already. Time goes so fast. No? Is Katie doing your show today?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dress Less and Decompress with Katie?
Snap.
And what are we
Bam.
talking about?
Bam. You'll have to tune in and find out.
You going to be part of the show?
I already did that. It's your turn.
Well, you
I
don't
tried
switch
to.
off every week.
I tried to stress less last night, and I got to talk to Josh.
Trust
about
me,
the whole
she could use
situation.
your
It
show
did not
today.
work very
Here's
well
what's
for
gonna
me.
happen. We're all
Look at
gonna
his
sit in
face.
a circle, and we're gonna all talk about our feelings,
Oh, here we go.
and everyone's gonna be included.
Daniel needs to be in that. He needs to.
Were we talking about that Monday, the feeling circle? Who are we talking to? Oh, the guest that Mr. Baseball brought in.
Oh yes, she was good. They were on Bird Talk, which I think is changing the name. What's it gonna call? Do you know?
This is a whole new show's coming out.
What's the name of it?
The Hangout.
The Hangout.
Casey's taking over Bird Talk, not Bird Talk, but
She's having her own
sports
sports
show.
show. Yeah.
She told me she wants to call it Giant Leaps and Bounds because she's a Giants fan.
Oh,
She's
no,
so
not
funny.
doing that. she sent me over our logos. She's gonna call it. Oh, KCPC.
I don't know
Really?
what that is.
That's
KC
politically
Sports
correct?
Podcast.
Oh,
Let's call it KC Sports. We don't need
Yeah,
podcasts. You don't want to
fuck
call it
everybody.
podcast.
so I have to ask you a question. You know, people always ask, like, what's your pet peeve?
No, here
One
we
of
go.
my pet peeves is
Many?
that people call this a podcast.
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
But a
No.
podcast is just like audio on Spotify. A podcast doesn't have cameras. A podcast doesn't have a studio. I mean, a podcast doesn't have real radio. A podcast is an internet
Audio.
search, right? Audio.
only,
So how do you explain to people how we're different than a podcast?
because we're
A video
a
cast.
video cast. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it better, but it's if we were a podcast, if we were doing podcasts all day, then there would be no visuals. It would just be audio.
Some big podcasts do that.
Yep.
The Always Sunny podcast has a studio and records them like talking and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
I like
the
those.
Joe Rogan one does the same thing. He has a video on him.
Yeah, they take videos of them in the studio and they're having a conversation about something, and they have their mics on. Like you can see their mics, and they're all having a conversation. It's kind of cool to see like what a podcast looks like, but kind of like with the visuals too.
Well, a lot of people think that you can't have a video conversation and turn it into an audio conversation. That isn't true, because do you script your shows? Do any of you guys script your shows? That's the difference. In the real world, people script shows. So the podcast people will read a podcast.
Well,
Hello,
not all-
Dawn. How are
Really?
you?
They're not.
Not all of them are
Unscripted?
like
I think
that,
some of them
though.
are
I feel
unscripted.
like
That-
I think some of them are, but there's some that are just kind of like there's some podcasts that are based off of just talking about anything. Like they just start
If
a
they-
conversation like, "Oh, did you see this thing that happened yesterday?" Like,
If they
oh.
edit as a podcast and they're good enough to pull that off. You know, the problem with a podcast is like finding a needle in a stack of needles. Because there's a whole bunch of podcasts. Everything's a podcast. I can't stand that word. Because it doesn't mean anything. Oh, yeah, I did. I have my own podcast. Meanwhile, if I tell you, listen, I have my own TV show, I mean, which one are you going to sort of look more curiously at?
Well, Kaylee told me she's taking a podcasting class.
And they haven't done anything.
Haven't done anything.
The professor says, okay, this is the way it's done for 3 weeks. This is where you go. Nothing.
So the school, well, you have iPulse, so you get to actually get down and do things at school.
Yeah.
But ours, is that just unique for Lynn? Because I don't know if FAU has like get in the trenches learning. Did you ever have that at FAU?
Like a podcast thing? Or,
You ever done a podcast? You know what a podcast is?
yeah.
If I wanted to convert your show, which I think is a great show, from that video cast to a podcast, how would you do it?
Just the audio.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Anchor.
Now we could change the commercials from the video cast to the podcast. You can do that if you needed more room, what they call as a runway for advertisers. I could do that. There's a business side to podcasts in terms of pricing, but its effectiveness. It's like if Josh is a quarterback and he wants to
Well,
show
are
you.
podcasts free?
No, but they're like $30.
They say yes.
They
Well,
can be.
It depends if you have like, I don't know. You could look some up on Spotify. And like,
You see, but that's a platform.
Mhm.
The free ones is if you do it yourself. YouTube is free.
But YouTube's not a podcast, is it?
It can be. You could put a picture of it and make it a podcast, the Dawn Show, and then you talk on it. But if you want to show how to throw a spiral, can't do it on a podcast. You got to be descriptive. You got to be good at the trade to be able to have an effective podcast.
You need the visual of it.
Now, politics is good for podcasting. Religion is good for podcasting because they're controversial.
You guys didn't hear because you had left and you were on board. There was the guy that did the financial literacy piece yesterday for kids, and he's on the radio, but he's on internet radio. And I think as much as we do,
Oh, this is a good
we don't
conversation.
educate people enough on the difference between
Internet radio.
podcast, internet radio, and
And
real
real
radio.
radio.
You know the level of difference. But
She
yeah,
lit
what
up
are-
yesterday.
What
She
are
says,
the
well, he's on radio.
because he told me he's on radio, and I said, well, radio station. He told me, and where it airs, and it airs on Amazon, and it airs on Roku, and it airs on whatever it is. It's internet radio. But even people in media, like a whole magazine show, don't even realize the difference between what we do,
Which is real radio.
which is real radio, because internet radio is essentially real radio. It's just not terrestrial radio where you go in your car and turn it on. Yeah, because I don't think you can get those channels on your car, like for Sirius maybe. It's like this slippery slope
Sirius,
of like,
you
all
got to
kinds of
pay
things.
for. It's a pay for platform, just like real radio. It's like if you are a blind, you're a beach blind, you're a bottle blind, but you're not a blind. That's the difference. You're not. It's not the real thing. Just because you call it radio. I mean, we have AmpItUp.fm,
Which is internet radio.
which is our internet radio station, which we don't talk about enough. I would like to maybe take one of the new producers and have them do a podcast show and show you the difference. Hello, this is me on podcast. But the difference is that if you do one burn, one taping, and use it in multiple layers. I gave a course when Geo was at Full Sail. This is going back 15, 17 years. They never heard of that. Taking one deal and making it multiple. You guys know it now, but back in the day, they didn't do that.
Yeah, you do a lot of that here.
I do a lot of that because it makes a whole lot of sense. And if we really want to get down and dirty, you put a crew together to edit the podcast so it isn't just TikTok over here, just pushing them out in these directions. You can actually change a podcast. You can make it bits and pieces. So if you want to do a podcast, I'll do it. And then say, okay, don't you remember your show yesterday? And then you play a piece, you play a bit, you play a soundbite, like Jeff Santos does.
Oh, no, like the magical wand sound.
Yeah,
Just like that.
those are all
I
bits
did-
and pieces.
I did put on this board. It's a necessity.
Those are all the bits and pieces. You can turn a podcast into something audio direct. But she lit up when you said, what do you mean it's not online? It's online. I mean, it's so what? It means he's on real or he's on radio. No. Just because it's radio.com doesn't mean you're on radio. Real radio, you go to your car, you turn it on, and there it is.
But Teddy was telling us she knows people that pay upwards of hundreds of dollars an hour for podcast studio rental.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
Meisner
just
has one.
audio rental, and that's
That's
not even editing.
I was asked by my buddy's dad if we can
Come in.
say go to a building or something.
Sit, relax.
We go to a building and then each they have like tiny little rooms in there where each person can come in, rent out the space, and do their own podcast.
Yes. The library does it.
Ah.
Hint to the wise. If you're paying Meisner Park for a podcast, go to the library. It's free.
I bet the equipment's not the same.
It's audio.
Morning.
Can you, if I give you an audio piece, can you guys work on your cutters to make it bells and whistle perfect? It's just,
But I gotta
The
tell
back.
you, her show, the audio sounded really, really good yesterday.
I gotta tell you a better compliment. I had a meeting in here about a new show that's coming out, which is gonna blow it up. This is gonna be big. And they say to me, "What cameras are you using?" You were there. And Teddy told them, which I'm gonna leave quiet, but Teddy told him what it was. He says, "It looks like I'm looking through water. It is so freaking clear." Same thing with Sarah Spiritual. Sarah's view now is tremendous. She looks like she's in your living room. So it's all the back end and nothing to do with the front end. There's Cam. See that Cam? It's a pretty good shot. Front end. So if you know the business, the object of the game is not taping it. It's not how you tape it. It's what you do with it afterwards. Which brings me to my next point.
It takes a lot of hands to do what we gotta do.
We have
Coming up.
a meeting today. I point at him because I talked to him about helping with me with this at the radio station
What time is
once.
that?
I'm waiting for Vic to call me.
Okay.
We're going to be doing video for all the stations at. They don't even have that board tied into the radio. So he says, "No, we tape it and then we play it." I says, "No, you got to go live, baby." He says, "Live?" I says, "Yeah." "How do you do that?" "Huh? How do you do that?" "Huh? I show you." So hopefully that meeting goes on today and we go forward to the next level. Because I'm telling you something right now. We go on TV before the end of the year. I don't know how, I don't know when, but we're doing it.
How do you do it? How do you keep up with yourself and keep going?
I don't. I tire myself out.
Because I tire myself out just watching you tire yourself out, but you don't. You keep going.
The funny thing is that the person most in this room besides you who has heard this speech time and time again is her. And you saw yesterday that meeting we were at. If this guy is anything near real, it's the next move. We're going to be going out, sending crews, doing videos for houses. This is a giant real estate
We've talked
monster.
about doing this for years.
But there's a television studio, a television station that wants it. So now the object of the game, can we deliver?
Interesting.
And if we can deliver, watch out now. There's the right way of doing something, and then there's the other way. You want to do a podcast because you think it's cheaper, it's going to be less effective. You may feel good about yourself. It's like writing a book, right? And you don't publish it. I wrote a book, but I don't publish it. What good is that? Oh, I'm afraid nobody will read it. So what you write it for?
Because
Well,
people just want to
sometimes-
share their feelings.
Sometimes you want to just write for yourself and make yourself proud.
That's called a
Yeah.
blog.
Do you do that? Anyone get up and journal in the morning?
I should, but
I should too, and I
I
don't.
don't.
Anyone share their feelings?
Every morning.
Feeling circle.
I go every morning. I go to my glass of steam after the shower and I
You
write
talk to yourself?
feelings. I sing to myself.
But it was interesting what she said on Monday. We can't keep stuffing our feelings down, which we all stuff them down.
I don't
and
understand
stuff
you
and
guys
stuff.
at all.
It's like the stuffed bagels.
I don't
Really?
get you guys.
We just keep stuffing emotions
I
and
don't
feelings
get it.
down because
Don't
you
get
can't
it.
let other people see how
And
you
you
feel.
all do it. You all do it in
And
this
then you know
room.
what happens is you explode, you get sick, or you say something it's taken the wrong way on a text because people don't communicate face to face.
I don't get it.
Conflicts. No one likes conflict.
How is it that something somebody says about you, or how is it that somebody thinks they know you, or just does it for bullying or whatever they do it? How in the world do you spend any time on that conversation? How do you not just get out of your head and say, you know what, I ain't got time for that?
Because people continue to bully. Oh, the same people will bully you over and over again because they can, because there are no consequences.
But why do you let them? Why do you feed that does not serve you? And we all do it, right? But why? That's why, you know something? I'm going to tell you how I feel about your comment. And if you don't like it, the door's right there.
You know what someone once
That's what
told
my
me?
professor said.
That 99% of your aggravation in business comes from 1% of your clientele. And since that 1% of your clientele has left, your aggravation level has gone down,
Who
in
said
my
that?
opinion. No, that's how I look at you and I
At
think
me?
about the 1% of your clientele that left.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Your
That isn't
aggravation
the
level
reason.
has a lot
Nah,
gone down.
that's not the reason. What happened the other day with the doctor, he took my blood pressure and it's wrong. The machine is wrong at his office, and I'm calling him to tell him it's wrong because I went to all these places and my pressure's down.
Good.
Down. And I don't mean a little down, I mean a lot down, which is the difference between having a heart attack and living. You know what? I decided to say, I had enough. I had enough. We
Fresh
talked about the
perspective.
lotto thing. I'm going to spread the love because I don't know how long I got. And I'm not going to dictate my life by a guy telling me this is how long you got. And if you don't want to hear bad news and you have a chest pain, you go to the doctor, he's going to give you bad news. I got to tell you that. You're going to get bad news because no doctor's going to give you good news because they want to sell you pills.
That's a whole other side.
Yeah, but it's the truth. And some people can't handle the truth. What was the name of that movie? You can't handle the truth.
It was with Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. And that's the problem with us. You can't handle the truth.
Because we live in fear.
Why? Why do you live in fear?
Now he's
God gave you a gift, man. You woke up this morning with it.
Fear?
What?
Now he's on a roll. Go.
Now he's aggravated.
Now I'm not aggravated. I just, you know what? You're young. You're vibrant. Take advantage. If I was your age, when I was your age, I would do things so freaking different, man. I would live life. I would go to every school. I would bust it out. Because when you are at the top of your game and everybody's trying to catch up to you, there ain't no feeling like that in the world. None. He comes in, he hits a button, my lights go on. You know how amazing that is? Now, you don't think it's amazing. So what are you talking about? It just went like this, right? It's a small thing. It's amazing that you get that done. Your intelligence. I'm still floored that day that we did the show. I think you're one of the most intelligent people I've
You've
ever
been
met.
talking about whatever you said all week.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Nobody,
On Katie's show.
nobody does.
On Katie's show, how smart you are. He told me all week how smart you are. And how we don't realize how smart you are.
You don't realize. They may not realize, but I do, because I saw it. You know, when Teddy left because something bad happened in her personal life, I said to her before she left that door, I says, I'll see you real soon. It took, what, 2.5 years. Now I'm fighting to keep her. Back then, I assumed she was staying. Today, I fight to keep her. That's the difference in my life. I'm fighting for things that I want. I want this to be successful. I want to keep him. So I'm fighting with Vic to do what I need to do to keep him. Now, I'm not going to win every battle, okay? Because in every war, you lose battles. But I'm fighting to keep them now. And that's the difference.
Because you're not fighting with that 1% of your clientele
I'm
anymore.
not fighting the elements anymore.
That's what I'm saying. You stop fighting them and you're fighting for what you want.
You know, I think that the production in this house is amazing. Show me I'll go up against anybody. If you want to throw cold water on me, bring it. That's okay. I ain't for everybody because I ain't here to be liked. Sorry. They said that I'm a box of chocolates. Not what you getting and that, but because I can be a little bit stringent but very kind. I am kind.
You're very kind.
But the bottom line is don't throw snow at me or my kids. That's all I ask. I don't want nothing else in life. And by my kids, I mean Dom, I mean Gio, I mean Sabrina, I mean my family, your family. Don't throw water on it because you ain't earned that right. That's
You're
all.
very kind.
That's all. Make it happen.
You make a
and
lot of
believe
noise,
yourself.
but you're really very kind.
I mean, think about it. You guys are at the top of your game. And we're about to make it more tricky. That's why you got to hurry up and learn more. You have to have the desire. What I'm going to try to teach you is the desire. I can't teach you the skills.
Yeah, you can.
Nah, the desire. You know, Josh has it sometimes. He's like an A battery. Sometimes you got to change it. Teddy has desire because Teddy knows that this could be something that she can run to the grapevine for. It could be a career. It could be a move. She knows it. Okay? And no matter who tells her it don't work, she knows it because she's seen it. And she's in demand. Get the desire. You know, when I met Dawn for 4 years, she had no desire. No, I don't know you. No, I got nothing to say. No, it was every excuse in the book. And look around now. Because you got desire. All of a sudden it turned into something you wanted as opposed to something you were doing. You go to school, learn desire. You want to be the best of your class. You know that statistics class, change your attitude. That's the easiest damn thing in the world. go for it. Go get it. And if you fail at it, at least you're going to know you left it on the table. Everything you had to give.
I got to tell you, every time I turned around yesterday in another piece that you had created, I finally said to you, how do you do, and then you have time to do what you want to do while you're doing something else. And then you're helping Bailey. And I'm like, how do you, because we're not in Studio A lot to see what they do. I don't know how you do all the things you do at the same time.
The well is deep.
But every time I see more of what you do, the well gets deeper and deeper because
there's just so much talent, you know. And
that's
I
how
love,
talented
I
you
love,
are.
I love the way he answers. Everything's
like
this.
that. But those elements in the commercial, and then you changed the video, and then you were drawing something, and then you were actually watching out over Bailey for something else, and then you went back to this, and then I asked you that, and then you just keep going. It's remarkable.
He negotiated
Your talent is
another
amazing.
deal for another
and you
video,
did that too.
which it looks like he's coming to do it.
What?
Another music video.
Oh yeah.
Looks like he's going to do
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty fun.
I'm going to give him your number to contact you directly. He asked for.
Sweet.
But
I've got a gig someone wants us the end of March to do a 3-day shoot. So I got to get pricing from you guys on what you would charge.
that's going to be interesting as well. And we were going over performer. We didn't have Dawn with us when we were going over that. I got to make a presentation tomorrow, so we got to tidy up those numbers. But all I tell you is if you really want it, you know, Brady says he can still play. Did you hear the interview yesterday? He says, I'm going to retire because you know what? I don't think that I'm going to be able to bring a championship to a team. That's the first time in his life he's ever said that. So they asked him, oh, you can't play no more. I said, no, I can play. I'm probably better than 80% of the quarterbacks out there at his age. But he says it's time to lay it to rest because now his family's become important to him. He
Yeah,
wants to
because
spend
now he's
time.
going to make how much money doing whatever he's doing?
$37.8 million
Doing
a year.
nothing.
Sitting down saying, how you doing? It's a good thing
But
that
he's your favorite. I know. Teddy loves him.
it's a good
Look
thing
at her.
that
Like if she likes swoop.
and he's single now.
Yes, he is.
Yes, and it's,
More interested in Giselle single.
What do you think the prenup was, and what do you think this alimony situation is? Do you
Lot of
guys-
money.
As much money as he did.
So that maybe there's no alimony.
no, there's money. They said that they're gonna pot it together to make sure the kids have everything. She had a big fight with his oldest son. Did you read about that? And
He's
so
got
they
kids.
settled that.
Oh, he's
He
got
had
kids
one,
with. Interesting.
another woman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they had there was a big problem. One of the reasons that Brady told her, I retire, you know what, I'm going to go play was because of his
What would you do
oldest
if
son.
you found out you're not married?
I was.
If you had found out Michelle had another child that you didn't know about?
Where the hell did that come from?
I talked about Brady.
They know about the child. That isn't the
You
problem.
said he was with another woman.
No, he had his first marriage, his oldest
Oh,
son
okay, gotcha.
was a problem in their marriage because she treated it differently. You know, Gazelle is not the nicest lady. But anyway, I don't know her, but I know things that I read about her.
But she's beautiful, right?
I don't think she's that hot anyway. I'm talking hot. There's pretty and then there's hot, baby.
Yeah. Your situation of the one hot and beautiful on that sliding scale, I don't know where you see things.
You guys like hot or you like pretty?
I have your list of girlfriends.
You like pretty?
I like.
From your old show girlfriends. I don't think anyone's going to agree with you.
Why? What's wrong with them? They're no good?
I think you see beauty from
Wait
the
a minute.
inside.
What? They're no good? Are they good or not?
She's making her face like
What's that
new.
mean? They're not hot? They are hot?
Anything.
Are they hot or
I don't
not?
think anyone's going to agree with
You
you.
think anyone's hot at 60?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, J-Lo, I guess she's almost, she's 55, right?
I don't
His
think-
face is like,
Grammys. She's beautiful at the
and
Grammys.
Beyonce.
She got all so
beautiful.
much plastic work done. I didn't even read.
No.
Oh, anyone see Madonna at the Grammys?
Ugh,
I didn't recognize
I saw it.
They have this like side by side of what she looks like now and what she looked like
She looks
then.
like a waste. She looks like a wet rubber.
No, she's what, 60, 62,
Yeah.
I guess.
She don't
looks
look
good.
good. No, she not.
We've had
Madonna's
some friends.
60.
So
Two.
much negativity with intense.
Madonna. We've
Hey.
had some friends in here that are of a
that
certain
buzzer.
age. You met that lady yesterday who was 84,
I couldn't believe that.
right? We do a show with another gentleman who's in his upwards of high 80s.
88.
Amazing. I don't know what the aliens did to him, but I want some of that. Well, maybe I should.
And he's built like a rock.
You
I go like this, how you, I said, holy, you're 80, what?
We have a show that one of the guys from the show, he went up and touched another show that came up next, his pecs. Can I touch you? Now, every time they're here together, The guy like wants to crawl in a hole.
I know who that is. Why would anybody? You ever touch another man's pecs? Can I touch your pec?
I guess it'd be one thing
I'm
if
not
you
gonna
said it
ask
to
you.
military or vice versa. Right. But like if you didn't know the guy and you walked into a situation and you're like, you don't even ask.
You never
just
met the
go
guy.
up and you just touch.
That was gross.
Wow, look at those pecs. The guy's thinking like, what? And every time they're in here together, he sort of backs
And
away.
listen, they're boats for different folks.
So the host says, you want to touch his pecs?
Weird.
That's weird.
Right?
You just touch people.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
you can.
Can I touch women's pecs? Will I
I was
go-
gonna say,
okay,
it's
all
waiting
right.
for you to go there.
So last night I had
Like the buttons.
last night I had to stay up last night.
I'm afraid to ask why.
LeBron.
Oh, please.
He's finally the all-time NBA scoring leader.
You wanted to watch it.
I had to watch it. I had to watch it. And you know what sucks is I was laying in my bed and I'm watching it on my phone, so I'm streaming it on a streaming website. And the shot he made it on was a jumper fadeaway. And he has the ball and I'm watching it and he picks it up and he leans back to shoot and the screen freezes on me.
Oh.
That's because everybody turned in.
I know. And then I had to restart it, and then it comes back on. Everyone's on the court. Like, he shot the ball, and there was still like 15 seconds left in the quarter. But everyone comes on the court and celebrating.
Was his son playing also?
His
No,
son?
his son is
No.
in
His son's still in the teens.
College.
Okay.
He's a senior. Junior or senior in high school.
He wants to play with his son.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but I don't know how they're going to do that, but we'll see.
No, because you can be 18 now and be drafted.
Drafted or signed? You're not, the kid
No,
is
you
going to
can
go
be-
somewhere else if he's drafted.
You can be drafted at 18 now.
And the Lakers are going to trade for him?
I don't know what's
What
going to
do you
happen
think?
there.
Should you be
But
drafted at 18 or go to college and get an
First of all, he's
education?
not that good anyway. The kid is okay, but he's...
he's not as good as LeBron was back in high school.
Well, ain't nobody going to be as good as LeBron.
That's one of our new producers.
The
No one's
amazing...
met her yet.
The amazing thing
Let
is
me.
that there was a time when Hakeem Jabbar is the one that had the record.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Nobody ever thought that this record would fall.
Because it's been there for 40 years.
40 years, like
1982.
35,000 points?
38,000 something points.
So they gave an example. If you played every game in the NBA for 20 years and you scored 30 points, you will fall short of the record. 20 years at 30 points a game.
What's his average per game?
Today, 30?
His career average is probably 30, 31.
But he has seasons where he averaged 40. He has seasons. You have to
Is
break
their
that
average to
record.
break the record.
So, listen, I'm not a big LeBron James fan. What? I'm not.
Just a record. I mean, that's pretty.
It's amazing. You got to tip your hat. Yes.
You know, like baseball, when they hit the most home runs, it all went under speculation because of steroids and doping and got taken away. I don't think any of this is under speculation. This is truly.
You can't speculate. Well, you can.
And the thing is, this is just regular season points. This does not include postseason. Because if it included postseason, he passed
would've
it.
shattered
He
the
passed it
Give up your
along.
sports show. He gets so passionate about it. How are you going to give that up?
No, he wants to talk in more generalized.
Yeah, I want to do.
That's because the Phillies are coming. I'm gonna tell you, Phillies got a good team. I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate to admit that.
The bullpen, like the starting rotation's good. It's just the closers I'm afraid of.
It's funny because when the Phillies put somebody on waiver, it means that all the teams have a chance of taking that player. If nobody takes it, the Phillies get them back and they could put them in the minors. So you try to hide players. Anytime the Mets are watching a Philly move and they take that player, you know who my team is chasing the big dog. So everybody's chasing the Phillies. So it happened yesterday. They picked up a bullpen kid. He didn't have a great record, 4 point something, but it's an arm. Because they're looking for arms right now. So anything the Phillies do, everybody's watching.
So here's the feel-good story. There were two guys from, I believe, the Air Force, and one of them posted on Facebook that he needed a kidney. And one was a diehard Eagles fan, and one was a diehard KC fan. And the Eagles buddy needed a kidney, and he put it out on social media, and his buddy said, "Are you kidding me? You're such a jokester." He's like, no, I really need a kidney. I'm, or going to go on dialysis. I've got a young kid, and I might die. So the Kansas City guy donates his kidney, 10-hour surgery for both of them. So now the Super Bowl hears about this, and they're flying them both out free to be together to watch this game.
Is that amazing?
Pretty cool.
That's amazing.
And so the Eagles fans like, well, now what's going to happen? Because now do I have a Kansas City kidney in me? Am I still going to be an Eagles fan? Like, he makes light of it. But they said once they're in the military, they are brothers forever, and he will do anything. They do anything for each other. Made me think of you, Daniel. But what a nice feel-good story, right?
There's some stuff coming out of the Super Bowl this year that's all about the feel. It isn't so much about the game. I mean, the game is going to be the game, but there's a lot of feeling. Commercials, $25.3 million for 30 seconds.
Remember we used to be $1 million?
Yeah, I do.
10 million?
I remember.
That's insane.
25.3.
All right, we've got some feel-good news to wrap up the show with.
We can end it on that.
All right, let's end it with some feel-good news. Tune in today for our midday show. We've got a phenomenal singer coming to you, someone to play keyboard. We've got the Sailing Club, and we'll see who else comes
Is
in.
what's her name? Casey's girl coming to sing today?
I don't know what you set up.
She was supposed to sing on Tuesday, but I think I set it up for today or
Okay, then
tomorrow.
we got a couple other singers. I
we'll
hope not tomorrow. Have a great morning, everyone. We'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't be late.